Welcome to DorkChat Radio, starring Kilroy Duncan and Bryant Crawley.
Started at about 2:30.
2:30 in the afternoon?
No, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which we've just passed.
Oh, well, I thought we were talking about 2:30 in the afternoon. I was like,
Nope.
It's actually 8:30 at night. So
No, I was going to start the recording at 2:30.
Actually,
Which I might still do.
35.
And we'll
Hey.
just fade in. Hey, everybody! Welcome to DorkChat Radio. We're back,
Yeah.
and we are so professional. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talked for 2 minutes and 30 seconds before I started the fade in. You can use your imagination as to what we were talking about.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, it was great. 2 minutes and 30 seconds of action-packed bullshit. Just complete bullshit, which I think is our thing. I think we're primarily bullshit, right?
Yes, primarily.
Primarily. You got something on in the background. I can hear it.
Oh, you can hear it? Oh, that's
Yeah, I can
American
hear
Dad, but
that.
I'll turn it completely off. There you go.
Yeah, just
it's
mute
off.
it, man. You don't have to turn the whole damn thing off. You can just mute it.
Oh, I did mute it. It's
Oh,
muted.
well then there you go. Okay, because I got Raw on in the background. Which, by the way, we are recording this Monday night. I am actually watching Raw while we were recording this podcast. I don't know why. I really don't know why I'm torturing myself with watching Raw, but I have beer, and so I'm prepared for Dana Brooke. So,
You're ready to go.
I'm ready to go. I
You're
have beer,
ready.
and I have a little bit of liquor left downstairs in case I need it.
Yeah,
It all
there
depends
you
on
go.
how much Dana Brooke is on tonight.
I think you do need liquor when you not even just for Dana Brooke, but Raw in general.
Yeah, getting through Raw is difficult these days.
It's very difficult.
It's pretty hard, which I guess is something I wanted to talk about, but we didn't have it on our list of things to talk about. But Raw has become so hard to chew through, and we're this close to WrestleMania. This is supposed to be the exciting period of Monday Night Raw. If there's ever a time where Raw is supposed to be as good as it can be, it should be in those weeks between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. And yet, since the Royal Rumble, it has been dead on the show. And it's not helped by the new things that they've decided to do, the constant crowd shots and the revival of the untouchable Stephanie McMahon, who's never allowed to have comeuppance. I'm watching Mick Foley apparently leave now as he was fired. And, of course, Sami Zayn, the only guy to come to Mick Foley's assistance, was beaten cleanly in the middle of the ring by Samoa Joe. So, literally, there's no comeuppance for these people ever at all, ever. And it bugs me, and I know it bugs you.
No,
It doesn't
doesn't.
bug you? That they just never,
because-
ever give anyone anything on these people?
Well, I would say this. It doesn't really bother me because I've already given up on Raw. And I've given up on Raw a long time ago.
Fair enough.
So, like, they can do really whatever, and it really wouldn't bother me. Like, I'm just like, all right, whatever. Like, I come for the DorkChat, group, and then, if I happen to watch Raw, I happen to watch Raw. Like, Raw is not a high priority on my list on Mondays anymore because, yeah. But, well, maybe it may come back around. Like, I don't really know. Like, I don't think, like, some of the stuff they have rumored, that's probably not going to do anything for me, but whatevs. We'll talk about that next week.
It's mind-blowing to me that 25 years now, 23, 24 years now, whatever it's been, that Raw has been a staple of Monday nights, especially for me. I mean, I watched the very first Raw. I remember the very first Raw, and I know that if my parents would allow me to stay up, I watched Raw. And through my teenage years, even when I was watching Nitro, I was taping Raw. So I mean, I can't believe that I've gotten to a point where I am seriously considering not watching Raw after WrestleMania. Like, I'll give it the Raw after WrestleMania, see what they do. If they have a great knockout show, then I'll watch the next week. But I think I'm going to go week to week on Raw after WrestleMania. And that blows my mind that for a show that I've been dedicated to for 20-plus years, that I'm seriously considering giving up. And I know you've been doing the same thing, and you've already given it up. How can they screw this up so badly when they have so much at their feet? It should be so good.
I mean, like I've been saying for a while, and I've said it. I said it right at pretty much a little bit after the draft when SmackDown started to take over, that it was the better show.
Right.
And like it's of course it's the better show, and it's just weird because you're technically the same writers. Like
Right.
They're not that far. Like technically the same people are still doing both shows. Like Vince is still in charge of SmackDown as well. Like let's not gloss over that fact either.
Right.
So I have no idea why one show is like literally the D show and one is like literally the A show. I don't know. I have no idea. You can't say it's the writers because it's pretty much the same writers. Can't say it's the people overseeing it because it's the same people overseeing it.
Yeah, Kevin Dunn's still in charge of production on SmackDown.
And the person who's overhead of that is Vince McMahon, and he still has the final say. Like, is it maybe a little bit looser than Raw? Possibly, in regards to the stuff that they have, but it's not going to be that loose. Like, is it the talent? No, Raw has better talent. Like, do we really? I mean, we don't know why, but is it going to get any? It hadn't gotten better any, like, what, since I would say when
draft.
Kevin Owens. No, I would say a little bit after the draft, the night that Kevin Owens won the title. That was probably the best night on Raw since probably the whole time period of this whole draft thing that they've been doing. I can't remember another better moment than that on Raw.
They've had some good Raws. There has been some good Raws, and I know that I've sat back after a Raw was over with the guys in the group in DorkChat, and I've thought to myself, and we've talked about it. Oh, that was a good Raw this week. But the problem has been that while we've had good Raws, there hasn't been a blowaway Raw. There hasn't been one show where we went, my God, I'm so glad that I took 3 hours out of my Monday night to watch that show. There's been good Raws, but there hasn't been a great Raw in a very long time. There's been great matches. Sasha and Charlotte have had a couple of really bang-up matches on Raw, and some of the stuff that they've done in the main event has been really good. But it's just they haven't top to bottom, and I think maybe that's just because it's 3 hours. They just you can't sustain that for 3 hours.
We need to move on, but I'm going to say this: it's not the 3 hours thing because we sat through Nitro for 3 hours, and we had fun with Nitro, even when it was younger. No. I'm not talking the latter years of Nitro. I'm talking about the early years of Nitro.
Even the earlier years of Nitro, man.
Let's be clear. Wait.
That last hour with Hogan was always.
Wait. You're jumping on my point, and I haven't even made it yet. Okay. We were fine. We weren't always sitting there saying, "Oh, this 3 hours of Nitro is terrible." No, we weren't. We were picking parts of WCW that Nitro may have not been good, but we weren't always going to the 3 hour time period, 3 hours of, oh, this is bad. My second point in regards to this, I see the problem that since the draft, it's pretty much been main event focused, and then that's it. So you have the same people, basic people in the main event since I would say about September to I would say about January has been the main people in the main event on Raw, like the same 4 or 5 individuals. Actually, it's 4 individuals, pretty much. SmackDown, if you look at it, has had a bunch more people. It's Dean Ambrose, it's Dolph Ziggler, it's John Cena, it's Bray Wyatt, it's Randy Orton. I mean, I could keep going. It's more people in the main event, and as well, they also have a fleshed out mid card as well as a women's division. I ain't gonna say tag division because the tag division is god awful. That's one thing Raw does have better than SmackDown is the tag division. But I mean, we really need to move on and go into another point because we need to save that for another show because we can go in all day on that.
Yeah, yeah. I think
So
the problem with Raw is a whole episode unto itself. But moving on, we're gonna move on to what I'm assuming is probably the top story everywhere.
Wait.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Wait. Speaking of Raw, go on.
Okay. Speaking of Raw,
you didn't like the transition?
I haven't liked a lot of what of what has happened with the following subject. So we're just gonna move on to this. The biggest story out of the week, hands down, has been this leak of photos and videos, primarily dealing with Paige, the I guess still current WWE employee. She's employed until apparently April or something like that. She's employed for like 2 or 3 years, right? She's got a long contract, but she's not due back until April.
Right.
And she has a very famous, shall we say, dysfunctional relationship with Alberto Del Rio. And now this leak, of course, of her private videos and photos, which includes mostly stuff that was from her relationship with Brad Maddox, has caused a very big distraction, not only for Paige, but for the WWE itself. And I'm going to get your thoughts before I go into mine. But
no, go with yours. Go with yours first. Oh. I figured it did. I figured. All right. Well, to be honest, hold on. Let me see. Hold on one second. Hold on one second for me. Yes. All right. Sorry about that. All right. So, in regards to the page, all right, we can wait 16. All right, I see it. It's so much fun. Life. All right. So, my thoughts in regards to the Page incident. At first, I thought she did this on purpose.
right.
Main reason I thought she did this on purpose is to get out of her WWE contract.
Right.
Because she's tried everything else to get out of her contract. By God, she really has. Okay? And she did not want it to be a situation where she is stuck to this contract for 2 more years. She does not want to be in the WWE anymore. You can tell that she doesn't want to be in the WWE. With the stuff with Del Rio and the constantly following around. I know everyone's saying she's had a neck injury and all this stuff and surgery. Has anyone really seen her do anything in regards to rehabilitation? And I know people that you do, in the private sector and private life in regards to rehabilitation, but like pretty much the entire time I've seen her with Del Rio, out at events, all the time.
Right.
So I don't buy the rehabilitation angle. But then some of the stuff that came out, you gotta like, man, like, and here's the thing, the only thing that's saving Paige, and this is gonna exclude Xavier Woods, is saving Paige, is because the movie that's based on Paige's family and life that they're doing right now. That's the only thing. That's the only saving grace that she has. That's the only reason why she hadn't gotten fired. How does it look if she gets fired and then they put out that movie? So they'd fire her and AJ already. Well, they didn't really fire AJ, but she didn't really have her contract renewed. But still, like, it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. So it's a big old crazy madoodle thing that's going on right now in regards to that. That's all I can say. I mean, the belt thing, that's just gross. Like, that was, ew. Like, that's all I can say with that. That was just, yeah. I can't say anything else about that belt thing. That was disgusting.
Now, I mean, as part of the group, it was pretty much impossible to escape the details of most of it. Pictures were posted. There was a whole thing. And I think, like most people, curiosity is too strong to ignore most of the time. But by the time that most of this was out, I was done with it. You know, and I don't know if that's just because I'm an old man now. I don't know if that's because I have a daughter. But I don't know if it's just because my opinion on it has changed, or I've grown a conscience, or whatever. But by the time most of these things were coming out, I was way, way done with all of it. It's gotten creepy at this point, and it's beyond embarrassing that an audience that has seemingly embraced this women's revolution in Sasha and Charlotte and Bayley and Becky is still so enamored with what I believe are still stolen photographs and videos.
I don't know why they're women. Like, that's the whole. Like, I don't know why that shocks you at all. Like, they're women and they're naked, so of course wrestling is a guy.
I know, and I get the curiosity aspect of it. I get that. I get the, hey, there's a naked picture of somebody we've seen on TV a lot. We're gonna click that. I get it. But some of the reactions are disturbing, and it's gotten to a point now where if I never see another reference to Paige's videos or photos ever again, I'll be a happy guy. I'm just very far beyond it. And even if there was a treasure trove of pictures posted today, if she went and posed for Playboy tomorrow, or she did a porn film and released it on her own, I wouldn't be interested. Like, at this point, it's been soured by this entire experience. And I don't know what that says about me, and I don't know if it says anything about Paige or the wrestling industry at this point, but I know I wouldn't have reacted this way when I was 18 with Sonny. So I don't know what that all means. I'm not trying to be a better person. I'm not trying to sound like I'm a better person or anything like that. I'm a horrible human being, and I'm willing to admit that.
We know.
Yeah, of course.
You're terrible. You're terrible.
But at this point, it just feels creepy to me to continue to obsess over this situation. I would rather it all go away, and I really particularly don't care if Paige ever returns. If she does, great. She's a talented wrestler. She calls spots way too loud, but she's a talented wrestler. And it would add some fresh matchups, for God's sakes, on Raw at least. It would add some fresh matchups. But at the same time, if she does come back, the chants are going to be unbearable. And I don't know if it's even worth bringing her back.
I would say this, and I said this very same thing to you through text this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
that there's no real way you could bring her back in regards to this. Just because, what's the purpose? Like, I understand you want to shoot the movie, and if that's, and you want to have it can't filmed and out with her under contract, that's fine. But I don't know what is the real purpose, because you said exciting matchups. The only person that she really has, she hasn't wrestled Nia Jackson Bailey on Raw.
I don't
Like,
think
she wrestled
ever wrestled. Did she wrestle Charlotte?
Yeah, she was there at the. Remember they had the three whatever triple team women's thing.
The three groups. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And she was one. Yeah, like that was one of them. She was there. She wrestled them. Like, that's the thing. Like, when they have, like, so she's done that. Like, it's not very new and exciting. Like those chants are going to be unbearable. Like, it's going to be worse than Lita. Okay. And, I don't know what is left, really. Like, I said it before, like, they should just release her. Like, just release her. Like, she hasn't wrestled since that fall of the Divas Revolution. That's when the last time I believe she wrestled. So there's really, like, it's been that long. Like, I don't know really what is there keeping, if she wants to be out of her contract, just let her be out of her contract. Just let her go. Like, really, what do you have?
I think the better option for the WWE, obviously, is that they keep her under contract so she can't go anywhere else.
No, but
if they suspended her, they wouldn't have to pay her.
I didn't say suspend. I didn't say keep her under. Let her go. She doesn't want to be there.
Well, she doesn't have to be there. She would be at home if you suspend her.
Again, if you suspend her without pay, she's doing nothing for you. She's doing nothing for herself. Like, that's even worse. Like, that's what I'm saying. If she doesn't want to be there. Like, We the People. What's his name?
Cesaro and Jack Swagger.
No. Jack Swagger didn't want to be there anymore. Went to WWE. They released him. I understand the situation with Rey Mysterio. In regards to, it was sort of the similar situation. He was injured. He wanted to go. WWE didn't want him to go. Because you know why? He had a name value. What name value does Paige have right now? Seriously.
Yeah, I don't think she moves the needle pretty much anywhere.
There's no reason to keep her under contract if she doesn't want to be there. Like, literally, you will be doing her a favor. You will be doing her a favor and yourself a favor. Let her go. That's all I'm going to say. Let her go. I still think the company brings her back and tries. I think they bring her back probably the night after Raw. Or the night after WrestleMania. They're not going to bring her back the night after WrestleMania. They're not going to bring her. They're not. They're not going to bring her back the night after WrestleMania. They're going to bring her back. No.
You are assuming this company is not tone deaf.
No, I know the company's not tone deaf.
They are tone deaf.
Here's the thing. This is the reason why I don't think they're going to bring her back the night after WrestleMania, because they're already going to have enough stars, or what? Not even stars, but enough people having returns coming back the night after WrestleMania. They're not going to bring her back. They're going to bring her back first and foremost at a house show. So then you'll notice that when she appears on house shows, okay, they're about to bring her back. They won't have her debut on Raw, and you're going to have her debut in regards to that audience live for the first time. They're going to stage it. Okay, and it's not going to be the night after WrestleMania. It'll be towards the middle.
What if they brought her back the SmackDown after WrestleMania? Bring her in as a heel. Specifically, she comes in for 30 seconds, beats up Becky, and then walks away. You don't give the audience time to give a chant. Then you have her for literally a month. If the chants are so bad that you've got to get rid of her, you have her job out to Becky, and you move on. Or whoever.
Again, she's on Raw. They're not going to do a mid-trade. She is on Raw. That's the show she was drafted to. Like, that's the thing. You're not going to have her.
You explain that away easy enough. There was a trade. You just send Raw some schmuck.
Chris. There was no trade. at all. There's been no trades at all since the brand split. So they're going to have this trade? Yeah, that's a big enough bullseye. Again, they're going to have her come back on a house show in the middle of April to gauge the audience. Then they'll bring her back as a test run at probably the end of April on Raw. Okay? I think by the time the movie comes out, whenever the movie comes out, by then she'll be gone. I think she's just under contract until that movie. Then they release her. That's what I pretty much believe.
Why would they release her at the point where she would have her highest visibility?
Because it's not going to be the highest. Because at the same time, here's the worst thing. Let's fire her before. Let's release her before the movie comes out. She doesn't want to be there. That's what I'm saying. She does not want to be there at all. Okay? They are just pretty much dragging this along until the movie comes out, and then it's like, okay, we did what we had to do. You did what you had to do. All right, let's part ways. That's the easiest.
I don't see them releasing her when the movie comes out, because then that would increase her value when the film comes out and would make her marketable to other companies. And she would be actually valuable to the WWE brand at that point.
Not really. Not really. Because
I disagree with you on this one.
You can disagree, but here's the thing. I think a little bit after the movie, she gets released. Like I said, she's only there. The only reason why they haven't gotten rid of her now, I'm gonna say, is because of that movie. If that movie isn't being made, she would be gone. Because, like I said, she doesn't want to be there. She showed no indication of wanting to be there. And she definitely doesn't want to live up to the rest of her contract, which is 2 to 3 more years. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like I said, the easiest and peasiest way for everybody is just to, you go your way, I'll go my way. Maybe we'll rendezvous at another point in our lives.
Well, she is very young.
Mm-hmm.
She's what, 23, 24, something like that. So
everyone comes back, but like I said, it's not her time to be there right now. She just doesn't want to be there. And if you don't want to be there, you don't want to be there.
You think she's going to get released when this movie comes out? I think it's going to be at least a little bit after that.
I said a little bit after, like probably a month or 2 months afterwards, she'll probably get released.
I think that she's either going to get cut before WrestleMania, maybe during those right after WrestleMania cuts. She might be a victim of that.
You talk about 34?
Yeah. No, 33.
You mean next year's
33,
WrestleMania?
33 is the one that's coming this year.
So you think she's going to get cut after WrestleMania?
Well, they always cut a portion of their roster right after WrestleMania.
So the movie's
I think it's entirely possible that she gets cut during that period.
So the movie's not going to be out
before the movie comes out. Yes. I think it's entirely possible she gets cut in that period right after WrestleMania when they cut 20 or so people. I think it's also entirely possible they wait until after the movie's out, see where she's at with wanting to be there and see where the crowd's at in terms of responding to her and make a decision then. But I don't... personally, I think it's a public relations nightmare if you let her go right now. Because people getting hacked is not the person getting hacked's fault. And I think if there's anybody that could have released this on purpose, it wouldn't have been Paige, it would have been Brad Maddox. So I just don't see the WWE releasing her until this whole thing blows over so that they're not releasing her because of this.
Right, like I said.
I think that's bad PR.
Like I said, I don't think that she's going to get released now. I don't. The only saving grace she's had is the movie. If the movie was never coming out, she would have been gone. Okay? She would have been gone probably maybe before, I don't know. I don't know how long this was in development. I know what it was announced was in February, but I don't know how long this was in development in regards to beforehand and getting all the ducks in a row. She probably would have been gone beforehand. But I think they're holding on to it until the movie comes out, and then a little bit afterwards, they're gonna just part ways because it makes all the sense in the world. If she doesn't want to be there, and they technically really don't really have any use for her, really, or really want her around, Like, if she's gonna always really, pretty much be around Del Rio, what is really the point? What's really
Well,
the point right now?
I think we've pretty much covered all the bases here.
I don't think we did, but go ahead.
But she's taken up about 25 minutes of our show, so
Yeah.
I would like to say that I hope. I know it's not going to happen, but I hope this is pretty much the last I have to talk about Paige for a while. I know that's probably pie in the sky, but I hope it is. But moving on, we're going to move on to something that you and I both feel very strongly about on opposite ends.
No, you feel strong about it. I'm good. I'm just chilling.
I thought you felt very strongly on the opposite end of me, but
No.
the AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon match at WrestleMania. I have some pretty definite opinions about that. Primarily that I think it's ridiculous. I think that, yeah, sure. If you want Shane McMahon to have the best match he can possibly have, you put him in there with AJ Styles. He's the best guy on your roster right now. Sure. Okay, I get that. The problem is, AJ Styles is the best wrestler on your roster. Both brands. Both brands. And not only that, but he has had an amazing year on top in the WWE, a place where people said for sure he would never succeed. And he has been absolutely on fire from day one. And you're giving him a WrestleMania match against 50-year-old, not even part-time wrestler, a one-time wrestler since he returned, Shane McMahon. Kurt Angle was able to drag a 3.5, 4-star match out of AJ Styles by trying to murder him. And that was back when
Shane.
Yeah, Shane. That was back when Shane was wrestling on a fairly regular basis. Shane was still doing monthly pay-per-views and wrestling on Raw on occasion. And it took Kurt Angle trying to murder him at King of the Ring in order to get a pretty good match out of Shane McMahon. The last year's match was a fucking embarrassment for both guys, for both Shane and The Undertaker. It was an embarrassment. It was an embarrassment for WrestleMania. It was an embarrassment for the gimmick of Hell in a Cell. It was two guys, clearly neither one of them capable of doing what they should be able to do, clearly both of them too old to be doing what they're being asked to do, and clearly having zero chemistry in the ring together, trying to just stitch together a couple of memorable spots, all leading up to Shane McMahon jumping off the damn cell, which literally everybody knew was going to happen the day they announced the match. It was stupid. It was stupid then, it's stupid now. And putting Shane McMahon in the ring with AJ Styles is stupid again. And I just don't get the logic of wasting AJ Styles in the few remaining years he's got of his prime. If not, I don't know when the prime of AJ's career will end, but I know that he's not getting younger. Wasting a year of his prime at the biggest show of the year with the most visibility possible on Shane McMahon, other than this is the WWE and Vince does whatever the hell he wants to, and that's his kid. Like, it angers me. I am irrationally angry about this. And I know, unfortunately, because of the rest of the card that they've announced, that outside of Owens and Jericho, from what's been announced, outside of Owens and Jericho, it most likely will be the most passable match on the card. Because everything else looks like shit. Everything else looks terrible. So, it's still probably going to be the second or third best match on the card. And it's going to be crap. Because how is AJ Styles going to carry a 50-year-old broomstick to a decent match? Go ahead. I'm just like it depresses me.
I'm
how angry
listening to you
this makes
first
me.
before I go in
I
regards
think
to refuting your points.
I think until you remind me of something else I'm angry about this, that I'm done.
Paige.
God damn you.
Talk about Paige again. Okay. Um, um,
You son of a bitch.
that made me cough. Okay. Dang it. Okay. So this stuff with like first and foremost, you gotta understand, and this is probably why I've just like let everything go with WrestleMania. WrestleMania isn't about us. It ain't. It ain't about the smart marks, the hardcore fans. It's not. It's not anymore. WrestleMania is about the casual viewer. Casual viewer. The guys and gals who used to watch wrestling, who don't really watch wrestling, or watch WrestleMania once every blue moon, or this is the only event they watch of wrestling. That's it. Like, the same thing of Call of Duty bros. They're not really gamers. You know, they just pull them in for that one game. They only play Call of Duty or Madden. You know, that's it. That's just that single person. So if you get that, if you bring that in and understand that, WrestleMania will be cool in the game because it's fine to me. AJ, love AJ. First and foremost, I want to refute your point. No one said, I don't remember hearing anyone say AJ could never make it over WWE. I remember talking to you 4 years ago, right when he came out of his TNA contract, and we had this conversation, and I said that he would have to take a pay cut in order to go WWE first and foremost, because they wouldn't want to sign him on his original deal. We never said he wasn't good enough to make it.
Neither you or I ever said that. No.
I don't remember.
That was the common thought on the internet, was that AJ Styles would not succeed in the WWE.
No, I don't remember seeing that common thought. I remember seeing the common thought is he needs to take a whole lot less to get to WWE because WWE doesn't trust him in regards.
Okay. We'll throw that to the thread.
Okay.
If you guys have my memory, or if you have the alternative facts that Bryant has, comment.
Now alternative.
Yeah, I did that.
Throwing that on me?
I did that.
Okay.
I did
Okay.
that. So
right.
what do you remember? Do you remember the internet correctly? Do you remember the internet saying that AJ Styles could not possibly succeed in the WWE like I do? Or do you have this false memory that Bryant has that, it would just be too expensive?
I remember a certain internet having a Paige memory this weekend. I know that.
You
sure.
bastard.
That's right. I'm bringing this up anytime I can. Second. What's the second or third? Third. Let's go third. Okay. Look, the Shane AJ thing, I'm fine with. Okay. AJ, yes, he's had a great, memorable, awesome run in regards to his first year of WWE. He's getting a WrestleMania moment with Shane. You may not like it as a WrestleMania moment, but it is. Because here's the thing. He had a moment last year with a wrestler. Oh, it was Chris Jericho. How was that match? Do you remember it? No, you don't. You don't hold that match up to a candle, do you? Do you?
That was a decent match.
No, it's decent. It was decent. But again, best wrestler, two of the best wrestlers ever, and you got a decent match. Okay. But I digress. AJ Shane, you're selling Shane way short in regards to what happened with Kurt, because you know at that time Shane could wrestle. Okay, he could. He wasn't just out there just to be like, okay, flip me, like throw me into the window or whatever 3 times. You ain't even getting 3 out of me. You're getting a hell no. And he was like, do it again. Come on. The match with Undertaker last year, yeah, that was terrible. But I ain't putting all that on Shane. I'm putting on that on the guy that wrestles once every blue moon or whatever.
Oh yeah, like Shane does. You know, he wrestles weekly.
He did wrestle. He wrestled twice last year. And I would also say this. They didn't even really have anything in regards to connection in the ring. Maybe because they didn't even work together in the ring. You thought of that? You also think that Shane and AJ could be doing that right now? Could actually be planning what to do or spots in the ring?
Oh, I'm sure that AJ's enough of a professional that he's planning something.
So what? So it was Undertaker?
Yeah.
Is Shane not
they had
professional?
to map that whole match out, dude.
But
Are you
they didn't
serious?
actually.
It was a Hell in a
Wait,
Cell
wait,
with a big
wait,
gimmick and a big jump.
Wait. But you're sitting there playing that. But they didn't. I'm saying they didn't maybe not have gone in the ring. They playing the spots because Shane playing the spot. Shane playing the spot of jumping off. He didn't need Undertaker for that. What do you need Undertaker for? Like, that's my whole point. Like, if you're sitting there bashing in regards to Shane and AJ and their chemistry, they may have ring chemistry. They may work together. They may be going over stuff right now in the ring, getting stuff ironed out for their WrestleMania match. You don't know that.
That's a whole lot of maybes.
I'm just not a whole lot of maybes. I can pretty much 95% guarantee that's probably what they're doing. I don't think. Wait. I'll let you talk.
Go ahead.
I'll let you talk.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna karate chop you, and I'll bring Paige back to this. I don't think that. I think you're selling Shane a whole short. Like, I really do, and I think it's like you have a beef with Shane. Like, I don't know, know what the issue is. Like, I'm fine with the match. Okay, the match is what it is. Like, the match is a prime time. Like, pretty much we want to call it what it is. Prime time event in regards to Shane. He's got. With AJ. They have one of the mega matches on the card. So yes, his whole year got to this point. Let's be honest. His whole year got to this point, and he's on a grand stage inner match with a McMahon at WrestleMania. That's a big deal. That is. I'm sorry, it is. It just is. Like, he wasn't gonna walk in the WrestleMania with a belt. Here's the thing. As many people complain about AJ and Kevin Owens not walking in WrestleMania with the belt, which I'm upset more so about Kevin Owens. But I get it. You want Goldberg and Brock for the title. I got you. You want that marquee name up there. Got you. Is anyone really complaining about Bray walking in with the title and maybe possibly walking out? The guy which everyone loved for the last 4 years, ever since when John Cena just sort of squashed him in the middle of his first WrestleMania as Bray Wyatt. Everybody remember that? To what he is now?
Everybody remembers that.
To what he is now, walking in with the title? We're going to complain about that?
Why would we complain about that?
Because everyone's sitting there up in arms about actually, because one of the indie or so-called internet darlings isn't walking in with the belt. Or walking out with the belt.
But here's the deal. Yeah,
what?
AJ Styles, the internet darling, is not walking in with the belt. But a guy who's wrestled every week and has been excellent for 4 years since being squashed like a bug by John Cena is. So, yeah, we're giving that a little bit more leeway than Bill fucking Goldberg, who came out of mothballs to wrestle 2 matches that combined were 3 minutes long. He's walking into the WrestleMania with the world title over Kevin Owens, who's had a year where he and Chris Jericho have been goddamn nearly the only fucking thing worth watching on Raw. Yeah, it's a bit of a difference.
Hey, buddy. Paige and Paige.
You just tried to relate Bill Goldberg and Bray Wyatt. No fucking sir.
First and foremost, I didn't, because I said I wanted Kevin Owens to walk in. You missed what I said at the very first part of that. I said I wanted him to walk in. I was more hurt by that than AJ losing the belt. Second, I got why they have Goldberg versus Brock, because they want the title in that big marquee match for the last time of Brock versus Goldberg. So I get why they put the title in that match. I get that. My whole point is you have an internet darling of Bray Wyatt walking in with the belt, which 4 years ago he got squashed by John Cena, and no one out of anyone thought that Bray Wyatt was ever going to win a title. Ever.
I did.
Everyone had given up that thought about a year ago that Bray Wyatt was going to win a title.
I didn't.
Let's be real. Yes, you did.
I didn't. I had that argument with you.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did. I remember the conversation.
I will punch you dead in the fucking eyelid.
I remember the conversation. You were like, "No, Bray Wyatt's dead. They might as well release him." And I was like, "No, he's got plenty of time. He'll have a title at some point. Especially with a brand split, he'll wear a belt at some point."
No.
You sound like Daniel Bryan.
Speaking of which, I mean to jump from topics. But
that's okay. I think this topic's pretty much over, so go ahead.
Okay, cool. This whole him wrestling again thing, man.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
anywhere ever?
We keep going harping back in conversation on the cast saying we have conversations about this stuff because we do. We have a lot of conversations about wrestling. If you haven't just can tell. And I remember saying that
for our 12 listeners, yeah, we talk about wrestling all the time.
I would say that we did talk about when he first was out and had to strip. He had to get rid of the title. And I remember conversating with you or whatever, and he was trying to make his way back. He was trying to come back. And this was with the IC belt when he got the IC belt or whatever, and he had to give that belt up. And I remember conversating with you, and I said, the only way he gets back in the ring, is if he leaves the WWE. He walks away and leaves the WWE. When was that? That was WrestleMania 31, right?
It's either 31 or 32, but yeah.
It was 31.
I think it was 31 because it was a year after he won the heavyweight title.
Yeah, it was 31 because it was San Francisco. So, and remember having that conversation, and he was like, WWE's going to let him get back in the ring. They haven't let him back in the ring.
Right.
Fast forward to now, when he's making comments that in a year and a half that he's planning to get back in the ring. That's when his contract is up. I'm going to say it like this. He's going to have to wrestle a new style, which he supposedly is fine with wrestling or whatever.
Right.
He's heard from some doctors who said he can wrestle. And he's also heard from some non-WWE related doctors who said it's probably best to not wrestle. He's had his wife, Bree, who's very worried about him getting back in the ring. And by that point, he's going to have a one-year-old baby. I think that baby's going to change him. I don't think he's getting back in that ring.
I think that most doctors would agree that professional wrestling is probably not the best thing in the world to do if you have other options. Fair enough?
Correct.
If you have other ways of making a living, even in professional wrestling, that do not involve you falling down on a regular and consistent basis, you should probably explore those options. If, however, you really don't have any other options, you should probably find some. That's, I think, what most doctors would say about pro wrestling. It's not a healthy thing to do to your body. So, having doctors say, yeah, you probably shouldn't get back in the ring, not necessarily going to sway me at all. That doesn't surprise me at all. I think most doctors would say that. But it's all up to Daniel Bryan himself. And I think that considering his age, where he's about 35 now, which is where, or I think it's 36, 37, something like that. It's somewhere in that range. That's about where most wrestlers who have wrestled a long time seem to find themselves at their peak. They may not be at their physical peak, but they're at their peak in terms of being able to tell stories in the ring. Their psychology has evolved to a point where, considering what the audience knows about you and what your abilities are in the ring, you're able to tell the best stories of your career between about 35 and 40. And I think that Daniel Bryan is fully cognizant of that. He's also fully cognizant of the fact that New Japan Pro Wrestling is desperately looking for American wrestlers and top stars. And he knows that if he goes over there, he'll get treated like a god, wrestle 3 or 4 times on a tour, and can make a ton of money. And can work with guys like Okada. So I think that it's a 50-50 shot, to be perfectly honest. I think it's a 50-50 shot that when his contract comes up, he goes to New Japan, he works New Japan, he wrestles maybe a half a dozen times on one tour, builds up to a Tokyo Dome show where he works Okada, loses, and if he is in terrific physical condition when he gets back and doesn't feel any negative effects, and is doing well, and his star has even gotten bigger, I think it's again a 50-50 shot that the WWE re-signs him and puts him back in the ring as a part-time wrestler.
Here's why I'm going to differ from you. And this is why I still say that it's not going to happen. Because it's not an arm injury. It's not a back injury. It's not a leg injury. It's an injury of the brain. That's as simple as it. He has a concussion problem. He does. It's a brain injury.
So did Dolph Ziggler.
Okay, Dolph Ziggler didn't have it this bad. This isn't to the level of Christian. I'm going to keep harping on this every day that anyone brings this up. Did Christian ever get cleared again?
But Christian was already 40-something.
No. Christian did not ever get cleared. He retired. He last wrestled. Let me find out the last time he wrestled, because he didn't retire until like 3 years later. He was still trying to get cleared. It was the same situation as Daniel Bryan. The exact same. They would not clear him. This is the reason why Breeze has a problem with it. This is what I'm saying in regards to when you had doctors who told him on both sides, yes, he can. He said it himself. It's given him pause in regards to hearing what doctors that were not affiliated with WWE have said no. Like, I think that's going to change. I think the fact that him having a child he's going to look after is going to affect him in a different way than it is now. That's why I say a year and a half. I don't know. Now, granted, if he didn't have a wife and he didn't have a child and it was just him, I'll be right there with you. But he really can't do that. That's why I say it's going to be different. That's why I don't think he's going to do it. I think in the year and a half, honestly, I don't like the GM thing with him. I mean, the whatever they have for him on SmackDown. It's a GM. Is he the GM SmackDown?
Yeah, he's the GM, yeah.
I don't like that role for him. I like a commentator role for him. I like him actually calling matches because he's really good at it. As the Cruiserweight Classic has shown us, he's really, really good at it. He's really good at doing color commentary. That is what I think he should be doing. If he can't get in the ring, and by God isn't able to get back in the ring, well, he's not able to get back in the ring in regards to WWE. I think that would suit him best, because he seems more energetic in regards to talking smack or the Cruiserweight Classic than he is doing this GM role stuff. To me, that's what it comes across on the screen. Because talking smack, he's actually himself up there with Renee Young. Cruiserweight Classic, he's sitting in there calling matches in regards to calling moves or whatever with all the young guys coming up in wrestling, and he's enjoying life. The GM stuff,
Just for the record, when Christian was injured the last time, and he was pushed into what turned out to be an early retirement, Christian was 40 years old. He's 43 now. That was 3 years ago. Daniel Bryan is currently 35 and was pushed into his retirement at 34. I think there's a difference there. Enough of a difference that if Bryan gets out of his contract, he will try to wrestle in New Japan. And I think that if he goes to New Japan, works for a year, working part-time or whatever, only working the larger shows, Corcoran Hall and Tokyo Dome, stuff like that, and WWE sees that he's working fine, he's got a brand new style that is a lot less impact on his head, he's doing just fine with working that style and everything's great, or maybe not even New Japan. He might work 1 or 2 New Japan shows and work AAA. Apparently that was the thing he was interested in, was working Lucha Libre. If he does that, I think it's entirely possible he comes back at age 37, has a 1-year contract, works 1 year, and then calls it a career.
See, but this is the thing that you're talking about, and this is where we're different. I don't care about the age thing. I'm not talking in regards to age. I'm talking about the concussion problem in regards to his brain. And Christian retired. He had his last match in 2014. He was never cleared again, and didn't retire because he didn't retire because he wanted to. He retired because WWE was just never going to clear him. And he accepted that in 2016, 2 years after the fact. The same thing that Daniel Bryan has.
I think he accepted it because he was in his 40s. And he realized, even if I get out of my contract with the WWE, I haven't been in a ring in 2 years, 3 years, whatever it was, and I'm not young enough to retrain my entire body and go back in there.
Wait. Hold on. We have guys. How old was Ric Flair when he stopped wrestling?
Oh, Jesus. Ric Flair's not even applicable. Because Ric Flair is a freak of nature from day one.
No. Answer the question. How old was Ric Flair?
If you want an applicable name, you name Roddy Piper, or you name somebody like that. Because Flair is a freak of nature.
It's not, because you're disregarding what I'm saying. If you're sitting there saying because of age, how old was Ric Flair? How old was Roddy Piper? We can start going to the list. For Christ's sake, Rock and Roll Express was wrestling last year.
Not even last year. Wrestled last week.
Yes, earlier this week. Like the age has nothing. Like I said, the age really has nothing to do with it. The problem is his brain. The problem was Christian's brain. That's why he was never cleared by WWE. The same thing that happened to Daniel Bryan. He was never cleared with WWE in regards to concussions. That's the thing that gives him pause. Like I said, it's not an arm. It's not a leg. It's not a back. It's not going to get better with age if you have a concussion problem. It's not. Okay? We can look at the studies in regards to the NFL. All we want to do, and anything with head trauma, you can look. It doesn't get better. It doesn't. It doesn't magically look awesome. Like, that's the thing. That's why I'm just saying that if he was by himself, I say he would have gone for it, because it would have just been him. Like, you as a married man or whatever. Mm-hmm. How was your life? Did your life change when you had a wife and a daughter?
Sure, yeah.
Were you not more? If you were single, let's ask. Would you be more reckless in regards to the stuff that you had been doing as a single man compared to a married man?
At this point in my life, probably not.
Well, you're sort of a weirdo, but I'm talking about like. Okay. Let me rephrase that.
I still do really stupid shit, so.
But how much stupid shit would you do? Why do I keep editing myself on this podcast?
I don't know.
This is our podcast. I don't know. Why? Okay. Would you be doing as much stupid shit? Let me say that. If you were single, like, would you be doing more high impact crazy shit if you were by yourself? Like, if you were by yourself compared to you were, but now compared to you being married and with a child.
Maybe, yeah. I
mean, that's us as guys, okay? That's just who we are. Like, but when we have someone that we have to look out for, and others we have to look out for, it changes us. And that's what I think is going to happen. Like, I think he's saying that in the moment. I think a year and a half from now, it's going to be a whole different story, and I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he leaves the WWE, honestly, because I think they're going to give him some more money. They're going to make him a huge ton of money, windfall, and he'll be on color commentary. I just think that's his natural where he needs to go. In all honesty, that's just
all right. Well, maybe, I don't know, but we're gonna move on from that, because that wasn't even one of the things we were gonna discuss, and we've got 2 more subjects to hit before we wrap this up. We've already hit an hour. So
I was bringing it around to our next topic. You like that?
Oh, okay. If you've got a transition, give it to me.
No, you didn't see the color commentary? You didn't like that one? You didn't like that?
Hey, I didn't even notice it.
Missed it. You missed it, buddy.
I missed it.
This is what happens when we're
off our game, yeah.
We're off for this whole episode. It's just been off, but it's okay. We'll get back.
Right. It's good. And I do apologize for our impromptu break. That's most of that is on me. I have had a very busy, very unfortunately busy couple of months. So our break has been very difficult for me personally, and I apologize for taking as long as we've taken. Now, back to your transition. It was a beautiful transition. I completely missed it. Color commentary, obviously. Speaking of commentary, you seem to believe that there is a conspiracy theory going on here that is true of Mauro Ranallo and his missing of SmackDown last week. You think there's a bigger story involved here, and frankly, I'll get my opinion out of the way. I don't think there's anything going on, and that's it. That's all I got. I don't think there's anything going on. But you do, and I want to hear what you think, because if it turns out to be true, hey, you get to say, hey, I said it on the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know what that wins you. I don't think it wins you anything, but, you get to say it.
I mean, brownie points for what? I don't know.
I don't know, but I know Dino will give you shit over it.
He'll give me shit anyway, so it really don't matter. He's still hanging on to that Roman Reigns thread. It's okay. It's a great thread.
Well, they can't say that we didn't do a podcast anymore. We did a fucking podcast, all right?
That's right. That's right, Clifton. And Dino, this is for Dino. Reigns has beautiful eyes.
He does.
Even if they're fake.
You can get lost
even if
in
they're
them.
fake.
You can get lost
even if the I can get lost.
The eyes aren't fake. It's just that the color was.
Well, I'm talking about the colored ones. Okay. Like if you take them out, then I get lost in the contacts.
Oh, there you go.
Once he takes them out, I'm just lost.
You're staring at the trash can where the contacts are.
Staring at it. All right, so let's talk about this. So I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Uh-huh.
I think something else happened.
Okay. Hit me with what you think happened.
So, I know, okay, so Moreno missed Moreno and who's the other guy?
JBL?
Mr. Huh?
JBL?
No. Keep naming him. Keep naming him.
The Jennifer Hudson's husband. Otunga.
Yes, Mr. Hudson. So they missed a SmackDown taping recently. Now, Mr. Hudson, he was filming a movie.
Okay.
His was excused absence. We're going back to that. Excused absences. People.
Right.
Moreno's was not.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly he was stuck in snow.
Mm-hmm.
That does not happen at all, people. At all. You don't miss shows in regards to comedy. You do not miss them at all. So right afterwards, there were seemingly people giving Moreno crap about it. Josh Matthews. Now, we can't really take Josh Matthews serious because he's in character.
Right.
He's in character on TNA. So we can't really give him, too much. We really don't care about him. But Taz was giving Moreno the business in regards to it, saying the exact same thing, saying that he was in a snowstorm and him, Michael Cole, drove all the way from wherever they were in the snowstorm to the next destination overnight to get there, to make sure they didn't get there, to make sure they got there. It wasn't about missing flights. He made sure they made where they had to go. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Also, JBL ripped Moreno in regards to it because something happened with them two in regards to JBL. And I can find the exact quote if you give me a second. But when Taz also talked about this on his show in regards to the next day or whatever, in regards to giving Moreno the business, in regards to explaining why this does not happen, as well as, interesting enough, when Taz was saying his stuff on Twitter, an interesting person was retweeting his messages, his tweets. It wasn't so much as they were saying themselves, but they were retweeting the message. Mr. Jim Ross.
Interesting.
Was the one retweeting the messages. So again, and another thing that has me kind of iffy, Moreno sort of has been on the hot seat recently in regards to the last couple months. Not so much. It's so much in regards to his other outside avenues that he's doing outside of WWE, and that's what people are hinting that this was. It wasn't in regards to snow. It was in regards to something else he was doing, and he got sidetracked and missed the show. That's the reason why. And a lot of people think that because of his outside interest, WWE has pushed up Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Todd Phillips,
to take over that role for him. So,
that's a step down.
It's maybe a step down, may not be. All I'm telling you is that the rumor mill is churning, and it's churning, and those are people in the industry saying that stuff.
Right.
They weren't just. I mean, they were the ones saying you don't miss shows. I've never seen. We've had plenty of snowstorms in wrestling.
Right.
I don't remember JR missing a show. I don't remember Michael Cole missing a show. I don't remember JBL missing shows in regards to snow. I mean, I don't remember Vince McMahon missing shows because of snow.
Well, I don't think Vince McMahon would miss a show if you killed him.
I mean, we can.
I think the man could have a heart attack and die, and then revive himself to come back in time for Raw.
I don't remember Paul Heyman missing Raw shows. I mean, I'm talking.
That's
I'm just going
because the checks didn't bounce. So.
I mean, I'm just going down color commentary list. Like you could start to think like, who really? Have you ever seen one of the main people on the shows not be there for snow?
It's rare. It's rare.
I mean, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying.
Maybe
he's just not as enthused with working for the WWE as you would assume someone in this position would. Maybe he's not happy with the money. Maybe he's not happy with the schedule. Maybe he's just not happy with the personnel. I don't know. Maybe he's got some other things going on in his life. I don't know. I think he got snowed in. But that's me. That's me. I take things at face value sometimes, and maybe I'm wrong, but maybe I'm not. But we're gonna move on to the next subject. So I know that we missed over a month, almost 2 months.
Yes,
podcasts.
We did.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
And there was a specific month.
Yes,
we
did.
Missed that I was really excited for. I had things planned for each episode. Mm-hmm. There was a whole thing, and then we ran out of space on SoundCloud, and then I had a bunch of personal things happen to me, and then we just kind of we drifted away for a little while. So here we are on March 20th. But I am gonna say this, as far as I'm concerned, starting with. Because we've got a lot to cover next week with WrestleMania coming up. We've got a lot to cover the next week after that with WrestleMania itself and the night after WrestleMania and all that stuff. But I'm going to say that from essentially the episode after the WrestleMania episode, from that point forward, we're going to do a month that we're going to focus on Black History Month. I'm going to have some segments. I want to do all the stuff that I wanted to do for Black History Month. We're going to do some of that stuff in April. But I know you've got some things to say.
You son of a bitch. We already had it's already the shortest month of the year. and we just going to wash it. You know what? I'm gonna do White History Month. You know what? That's right.
Okay. All right.
Sure. You know what month is White History Month?
All months.
January, March through December. That's White History Month. Okay. So.
Well, down here in the South, it's February too, isn't it? Don't the schools try to do like Lee Jackson Month or something like that? Don't they try to do Confederate History Month in February?
You shut your pie hole.
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying they do it.
You should. We're not aching to those Southern laws. Damn it! This is not Trump's podcast.
My name is not Jim Crow.
We are still living in Obama America. Okay, so that's right.
Someone please get me a time machine.
That's right. That's what's happening. So, yeah, this wasn't on me. Brian doesn't want to miss Black History Month. Okay, let me tell you. Let's be perfectly clear. This wasn't Brian's call, okay, to miss Black History Month. Just gonna keep throwing that out there.
Yeah, no.
It wasn't the black guy.
No.
It was the white guy.
It was the white guy. The white man oppressing, even on a podcast about wrestling.
Yeah. See, my people get oppressed during our month. Ain't that something? The 1 month we supposed to, everybody's supposed to celebrate us. We get oppressed. We get to miss a podcast. Man, don't do nothing.
I apologize. That's all
okay.
me. I apologize.
It's okay.
Apparently
I forgive you.
It's not okay.
I forgive you. I forgive you. Black Jesus forgives you, but it's okay. We won't forget. We won't forget. That's how we roll.
Okay.
Black's Jesus. He has a long memory.
Okay.
He has a long memory.
All right. Well, I look forward to whatever revenge is coming from that.
I probably don't know. Just gonna go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know either. But, so, yeah, I apologize personally from me for missing Black History Month. It's my bad.
I don't apologize because it wasn't my fault. So there.
It wasn't your fault. So, but I do want to do some stuff in April. Please don't let me forget. I don't think I will. But if I start to slip, we start going over our plans for the month of April, and I don't have something in there, please remind me.
Because every show in the month of April, we're starting off with Nation of Domination. So, like, what's the time before they can sue you? Is it 20 seconds?
I think so. Yeah, it's
so 18 seconds of Nation of Domination every cast. It don't even have to be the start. It could be somewhere in the cast. It's 18 seconds. If you talk about something has nothing to do with it, but just throw it up there.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, but you better not throw any racist Coco Beware in there, or I'll punch you in your face.
Coco Beware?
Yeah.
I thought it was Junkyard Dog that was racist.
Oh my God! Don't get me started on that goddamn thing.
How is Coco Beware racist?
No, when I
got a bird.
So all my people, we supposed to have be a fucking bird? Really?
I thought if you're gonna have a problem with a '80s jobber, it would have been Special Delivery Jones. I thought that would have been the guy.
I've had a problem with Junkyard Dog. You already know that. Oh yeah,
I know that.
You know that.
Which hurts me because as a kid I didn't get any of that. I was a white kid in the South. Of course I didn't get any of that.
Oh, I got it. I perfectly got it.
For me though, I loved Junkyard Dog. He was the top babyface for me. Even sometimes more than Hogan.
No, explain to me why a black man has a fucking chain around his neck. Okay, and this is cool. It's we're just all going to be.
He's a junkyard dog.
Why is a black man? Why is a black man with chains around his neck referred to as a dog? Okay, that's cool. The fuck? The fuck do I look like?
I love that we finally went to YouTube, a place that might actually censor us, before we both finally just started letting loose with the F-bombs. I want to say that. Man.
JYD brings that out in me.
He does, yeah. He does. I see that. I see it.
And that damn bird. And that damn bird.
The damn bird. I don't get the bird. I'm sorry. I don't understand. I don't.
Man, Akeem was more hardcore than Coco Beware. He was more woke than hardcore. Man, look, I don't even want to get into this topic because I'll go all day. And start going off because I'm just sitting there I can go down the list. Nope.
Akeem.
That's how, see, people mad. I hate to bring this up. People got mad at that Black Excellence post or whatever, right?
Right.
Remember our post?
Yeah, I remember.
But here's the thing. First and foremost, all them wrestlers lost their titles after they posted. That's some BS in itself. Before Black History Month. Bull. Second, okay, they had that to look up to. A fucking bird and a man who is referred to as a dog. Okay? Come on, people.
Well, I think they're all young enough that they actually probably their first cognizant memories of wrestling would probably be in the early '90s, and then the Attitude Era. I don't think any of those guys were in their mid-30s, which you'd have to be in order to remember Junkyard Dog. I mean, he was pretty much gone by 90? I think he worked in WCW in 88, 89, and he was gone.
Here's the thing. I know they knew who Junkyard Dog was. I know who Coco Beware was. You know why I know? Because WWE likes to remind you of those individuals in February. Every February. Every single February. So they knew who they were. If they watched wrestling, they knew who they were.
Well, yeah, okay, sure.
Thank you.
But I think at this point, an hour and 20 in, or so, because some of this is going to get edited out. But we've got a pretty good podcast here. I know it was a little rough.
It's rough.
First one in a month and a half, 2 months. And I apologize for that. I apologize for switching over to YouTube here briefly. But we'll get back on SoundCloud here pretty soon. And we'll make sure that this thing is running professionally, as professionally as possible.
We will have a better podcast next week when we're more prepared.
I agree.
I'm not sick.
I agree.
So.
We did decide to do this, roughly 15 minutes before we did it?
Yes.
Like, we just decided, fuck it, let's just record it tonight while I'm watching Raw. Let's just do this. So,
Also next week is the WrestleMania Extravaganza. So.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to throw any... Should we do something in the group about WrestleMania predictions next week?
I don't know. I think everybody's going to give us our wrestling predictions whether we want them or not. So
I know how much fun the group loves polls.
Oh, they do love polls.
I think we should make a poll for each WrestleMania match and who we think should win or something like that. Or I don't know. I don't know. Or which do you think would? Or which is going to be the best WrestleMania match, or I don't know. Or if someone's going to get clotheslined at the Hall of Fame ceremony, I don't know.
Or if perhaps AJ Styles could finagle a decent match out of Shane McMahon.
You shut your goddamn mouth, hippie, okay? I'm in Shane's corner right now.
Oh, man. Maybe this will give some people a clue as to when we were recording this. I literally just saw Ivory on my television. She looks terrible. Dude, what happened to Ivory?
I don't know. I'm not watching it, so I have no idea.
They're doing a Celebrating Women segment, and Ivory just popped up to talk about Mae Young, and she looks rough.
Well, do you think it's because Mae Young looks terrible? Like, she looked
terrible? Mae Young's dead.
Okay, I haven't finished my thought. Is it because she looked like a ghastly ghoul that it transitioned to Ivory? Excuse me.
Sure, yeah.
I know Mae Young is dead.
Do you?
Now I do.
Well played.
Yeah,
well played. Well, I think next week we're going to see if we can get Mae Young on the show. And we'll go from there. But
maybe hit the hand too.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously he's in his 20s now, right? That was like 1998, right? Like that was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Fuck, we're old, dude.
Wow.
And on that depressing note, we're going to wrap up.
Thanks for ending it on a downer.
I thought I would. So if you're out there and you're listening to the show for the first time, I apologize. If you're out there and you're listening to the show for the second, third, fourth, or you've listened to all of them, you knew what was coming. So I don't feel bad for you. But we will see you next week. I'm not entirely sure what day, but we'll see you next week. And until then, I guess Dave needs tickets.
Fuckity fuck.
Welcome to DorkChat Radio, starring Kilroy Duncan and Bryant Crawley.